On our podcast show today, let's talk travel because Winston and I have been traveling quite a bit. I just got back from 2 places, Japan, and also recently, both of us came back from Taiwan and Computex.
That's right.
We touched on that in the previous show, and also we've got upcoming interviews with a lot of different guests from the industry that have some things to say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But one of the things that we are very excited about is how we've been able to travel light. And also be lighter, and also be productive and enjoy ourselves without having to lug around things that may not be necessary. I mean, Winston and I have been traveling for so many years now that we know what we want to bring, and we know that there's stuff that we just simply want to leave it at home, and we won't even miss it.
Yeah, true. I'll start. Okay, so you got me buying this. So this is a Samsung S25 Plus.
Yes.
It's not the Ultra.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, I don't need the Ultra.
That's a big boy.
This is a nice slim version, S25 Plus. Yep. And the reason why I got this over my iPhone, because I use my iPhone for my personal stuff, banking and kind of stuff, is for the video work. So I got the S25 Plus for the video work, photos and that, and it's so much easier. The quality is good as well, and I'm able to use this. And the battery life, it lasts. Literally all day. So
it is truly all day battery life.
More than all day.
So what does Apple mean when they say all day battery life?
It's not all day for the Apple.
Okay, so what does all day mean for Apple? Like what time to what time?
6 hours, 8 hours max.
Okay, so
if you're filming and stuff like that.
So business day.
Less.
So that one is actually from the time that you wake up to the time that you go to sleep.
I wake up, I go to the Computex, I start filming, taking photos, do video shots and all that kind of stuff. And it syncs to the cloud. Perfect. I could go back to the hotel, switch on my computer, and it's already in the cloud in OneDrive.
Can we say that one of the top things that we have to have when we travel is a powerful, light, and great battery life phone?
Definitely. Because if I did the same thing on the iPhone, it would probably die in like 4 or 5 hours because of the constant filming and photos I need to take. Also, the reason I got this phone is because it's lightweight. You can put it onto those magnetic clamps and everything, which is great. And it hooks up to my wireless mic, so I can do all the videos, interviews, and stuff like that. All right. Rather than messing around with a DLSR camera, then you have the DLSR mics and all that kind of stuff you need to add on. You get your lighting, your rig, your camera batteries, your SSD cards. Yeah. I eliminate all of that. Unless you're doing it professionally, you need that camera, to be honest with you. If you're a influencer, content creator, you want to do it quick, share it on your social media, blah, 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 then you got to get the phone.
Yeah, I would even challenge that, even if you don't need something better than the phone itself, even the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's great for our podcast. We're recording with it. It's a purpose-driven device.
I see a lot of people using that. Also, the reason why I use the phone as well, or instead of as well, because it uploads.
It's an upload.
Yeah, it uploads quicker.
So you can't do that with the Osmo. But if they did have an Osmo that could do that, that would be a game changer, right?
Yep, it's true. Okay. All right, so what have you got then for travel?
One of the things that is actually literally changed the way that I've traveled. Yeah. I think version 1 was being able to survive on an Android tablet. Yeah. My Galaxy S8.
You still got that, right?
I still have that. It's great. It has a keyboard cover, has a pen. Does many things well, but also does many things poorly.
Okay.
Right. For example, what it does really well is battery life is decent.
Yep.
Super small. Right. Yep. Very tiny. You can take it anywhere with you. The pen is great for being able to sign docs or even take notes and everything. But it is Android OS, and unless it has an app. And even if it does have an app, some stuff just doesn't seem to be smooth. It doesn't have the desktop, even the laptop experience.
It hasn't got that desktop experience or the laptop feel.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it worked very well for a very long time, but I find that if I want to actually type something out and do Windows things.
Windows things.
I can't. I don't have that option, right?
All right, okay.
But, I love the size. I love the battery life. I'm like, I wonder if I can get that without spending for a Surface. Because Surfaces are expensive. They're $3,000.
They're nice, but expensive,
They're so expensive. And have you ever, my tablet, don't get me wrong, it's great, but I can't just hold it with the keyboard and just start typing. I can't do that, right? because the tablet is flippy, right? It's flippy, floppy.
Yeah.
So you can't do that, right? You can't just put it on your lap and start typing. You have some deficits to it, right?
You need a table so you can plonk your and hold it up.
You have to have a table for that. So I was on the internet one day.
On the internet,
yes, and I was looking at Snapdragon X Elite laptops.
Now wait, that was actually advertised last year at Computex. Remember?
Correct.
And we didn't see any.
Barely any, because I guess they weren't ready yet. They were advertised, yes.
Okay.
But we didn't see them in the wild.
Yeah.
But this year, they are in the wild. Many different varieties from all sorts of makers, from Asus, Acer, and HP actually had they had the flagship model that was shipped to the Qualcomm event to give to journalists.
To play with
and everything. Okay. And because this was the flagship model, I wanted to see if I could find a deal on it. Hey, you know what? How much could it be, right? It runs Windows 11 ARM.
So wait. It's Windows 11 ARM. So it's not your regular x86 Intel, right? No. So it's an ARM processor.
ARM version of it.
Okay.
It runs Prism, which is their like Rosetta on Mac, which translates the calls from x86. This is Windows version of x86 translation to ARM.
Right. And then how much RAM has this thing got?
We haven't introduced it yet.
Oh, okay. Tell us.
Okay. Well, this is the
HP
OmniBook X14.
OmniBook X14.
Yep. This is
saying 14 meaning 14-inch screen.
Yep. Touchscreen. 14-inch.
Oh, touchscreen.
Touchscreen.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, touchscreen. The only thing that I don't love about it is that it, and a lot of reviews that mention this, is that it's only up to 350 nits. So it's not that bright, but I usually crank it up anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I did notice about this laptop is that it has truly almost all week battery life.
Wait. let me grab it. My God, it's really light. It's almost as thin as well as the Dell XPS, because that's
thinner.
It's
thinner.
And wow. Okay, so tell me more about this. What processor?
So it's running the X Elite. Now there's different versions of it. This is the X Elite with the 10 cores, and it runs up to 3.8 gigahertz, I believe.
Okay.
Now there's another one that boosts, but this is not that one. Okay. Right. So this one is a little bit lower performance. Like they really made a crappy naming scheme, because there's like X Elite something 180. Like, it's very confusing. But this one has I believe the base model X Elite processor on it.
But it has probably the best battery life, right?
It has up to 28 hours. I've been getting 24.
28 hours.
Yeah. I leave it in my bag and I take it out when I need it. So the sleep mode actually works really well. It's really awesome.
So if I close this, I leave it for a day.
Yeah, it's still got battery life.
And then tomorrow you wake up and then you open it up.
Might lose 3%. 3-4%.
Wow.
Right? And it adjusts itself based on your usage, right? So you might get more than that.
Could you don't need it, suppose. You can just power it through the mains as well, right? You don't need.
Yes, you can. You can just in fact, if you have a PD power supply like the one here, you can actually just power it off with that. This has got two USB-C ports, which are actually PD. It also has a really cool USB-A port.
Okay.
That flips down, so you can still use USB-A, and a real headphone jack.
A real
headphone jack. It has a 1080p camera. It's off the top with a slider.
A slider, okay.
Right. So it also has Windows Hello.
Wow, I didn't realize that, because normally you get like these type of processors like Chromebooks, right, and stuff like that, which is not that great.
X Elite,
full on Windows 11.
Snapdragon X Elite is not for Chromebooks. This is for Windows 11 ARM specifically.
Right, and it has enough all the Windows 11 functions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Since it came out last year, because they were advertising it at Computex, like we mentioned, they've solved a lot of riddles. They've solved a lot of problems. All the
issues. Okay.
Yeah, like I brought this as my daily driver for Computex, and Computex is a very show that you need to move around. You need to move around. you go and you meet people, and then
you need something lightweight as well.
And you want to try new hardware that's on the floor and whatnot. So you want to plug it into things that you might have in your bag. It's been fine. Like the Prism works really well.
Could you output it to a separate monitor as well?
You could. Yeah. You would just need to have the right connection.
USB-C.
I haven't tested that, so maybe it's driver dependent.
RAM size? How much RAM in there?
This one only has 16 gigabytes and it has 512 gigabytes.
So, wait. So with this type of ARM processor, it's like a unified memory, similar to what the...
It's built all together. So this has got 16 gigabytes of RAM. So it's like a phone where it's got 12, 8, whatever. But it's very efficient. I haven't had a need to really say, hey, I'm out of RAM or anything like that.
And storage-wise, you said it was?
512. Now, this is one of the things that I did notice, and I think a lot of reviewers have noticed as well too, because this was the laptop that a lot of reviewers got as their first Qualcomm ARM X Elite laptop to test. This was like the launch model. The SSD is actually very slow in this one, but it's not because it is the interface. It's actually a slow SSD. It is a Western Digital SN740.
Right. So it's a slow piece per Gen 3?
Yeah, like it's slower. So if I were to upgrade it out of my own pocket,
but even for the 512, you can always add an external SSD, right?
You could add an external SSD. You would just be Thunderbolt 4.
Thunderbolt 4.
Yeah. Capability, right?
Yeah.
So what I found is that overall, though, no problems with performance. I can run DaVinci.
You can actually video edit on this.
DaVinci's on here. And if it wasn't for the price, I probably wouldn't even look at this.
Question.
Yeah.
So you said it was Windows 11 ARM. So if I wanted to download an app which is supposed to be for Windows only, am I able to run on it?
Yeah, it just, you won't have if there's a native version, run that. If there's no native version, it goes through Windows Prism.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So it's a non-issue.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. For most apps, it's a non-issue. There might be some compatibility issues, but for me, everything that I've been using, not
all
a big
your
deal.
Office stuff, your video stuff.
No.
Yeah, all good.
Like for me, no. But if there's a specific app that isn't supported, there are websites out there that do track the performance of that. Like you might get a performance hit if it goes through Prism.
Yeah.
So if you use like some sort of weird CAD software or something like that isn't compatible, you may want to look at that first.
So Prism is almost like an interface /
It's like Rosetta Stone in Mac, which is for the translation between x86, Intel, and M1.
The M1, the Mac
series
chips. Yeah. Okay.
Apple Silicon.
I got you.
Okay. So if it wasn't for the price, and the price was freaking amazing, because I think that Qualcomm is now looking at bringing out the next generation of chips. This thing was only 1,000 Canadian.
Wow, that's 800 US ish.
Yeah, something like that. Because the US exchange rate has taken a tumble.
Okay.
But yeah, like I love it. I had this at the show. I barely charged it.
Wow.
Yeah, I had it in my bag, and it was just.
I needed something similar to this. I need something lightweight that can run video editing stuff, because the the Asus or Zephyrus
is heavy.
It's heavy. It's great for gaming. It's got great specs. You know, all the AMD chip in there, GeForce, all that kind of stuff. But I had it for about 3 years now. For some reason, Windows is dying on me. I have to reformat it, but it just failed. And it's also, the batteries doesn't last that long, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll get 3 hours out of it for the Zephyrus.
3 hours.
Like 100% load, like you know. But on idle, maybe 5-ish. I need to plug it in while I'm using.
Yeah, look, this thing, absolutely incredible. I run it on balance mode most of the time.
Yeah.
I could probably jack it up into performance mode and still get over 15 hours of battery.
Also, the power bank, does it come with a power bank?
Comes with a regular USB-C charger.
Charger.
Like a 65-watt brick.
So that removes your brick option. Remember they...
Actually, you know what? I didn't even bring it.
Because
I brought this.
Zephyrus and...
So this is an INIU power brick that has 10,000 milliamp hours of battery inside.
Oh, it has a power bank.
It has a power bank inside, right?
Okay.
So...
But also do power delivery.
Yeah, like it has a USB-C cable on the end.
Yeah.
So actually, if I needed to, and I didn't, I would just plug this into the wall because it directly PDs into the
and then you can have
laptop.
a cable that goes from there to the PD. Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be fine. Either way.
Didn't you use that as an emergency for this?
It doesn't have enough wattage for this.
Right.
But it has enough wattage to charge this when it's plugged into the wall. Yes.
Okay. I get you.
Yes. But even still, I can still plug this into here and it would still charge it because, as you can see, the red light, when you turn it on, it does come on.
Okay.
Right? But it's already, like, it's still fully charged.
So that chip, was a Snapdragon X Elite, you say?
X Elite.
Yeah. So it's
chip.
almost like a souped up mobile chip, but designed for laptops.
More accurately, it's more like a souped up mobile phone chip. made for a laptop without the need for throttling.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So it has the entire chassis to dissipate heat, and we already know that smartphone
So
CPUs,
there's no fans or anything like that.
Oh, there's a fan inside. You can see it.
All right.
Just barely.
Yeah.
But I don't really notice it. It's just so quiet.
Okay.
Right.
I guess it doesn't really need it unless it's 100% load and you're doing some heavy workload on there.
It's so light and thin that I can carry it with me. And the other thing I want to talk, we already talked about this 10,000 milliamp hour. Love this thing.
How much is that?
Fantastic. It was $49 on Amazon.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, it's got a digital readout as well.
Got a digital readout as well too.
Nice.
Very handy. Okay. So I would recommend one of these with you if you have a phone or any devices, because it also has USB-A and USB-C, additional one, including the one that it's attached to. And when you plug it into the wall, you get more power. And it charges the battery at the same time, and it does pass through. So when the internal battery is depleted, it will just pass through the power until it's done.
That's pretty good. I like that. Good for traveling.
Great for traveling, right? So I had this, and I had this, and this
in your bag,
in my bag, right? And because it's a Tomtoc, so I know that a lot of travelers love this brand. It's absolutely a great brand. They basically taken a lot of the best features of travel bags, and they've just made it into a really not cheap. Like I actually, this is my second Tomtoc. I had that sling. You've seen it before, right?
Yeah.
That thing's 3 years old. This thing is going to last just the same. It's durable, right? Because it uses
What's these straps here at the bottom? What do they do?
Expands. Umbrella.
Oh, okay,
Jacket.
okay. So, it folds up and you can slot it in between.
Look,
that's pretty cool.
Stuff like that. So this, my 14-inch laptop was inside this thing, right? The whole time with the power bank.
In there.
Yeah, so.
And you can put like notes and other stuff on there as well, right?
Totally.
That's pretty compact.
The profile. So this is a sling.
How much is that?
This was actually only $69 on sale.
Okay.
So,
and it's lightweight. It's not. Yeah.
I didn't even notice it half the time. It was just with me, right? But I could carry, like snacks. I could put brochures in there, business cards and whatnot. Like bags like this, and including the sling that's way smaller.
You know
why? Super handy.
You know the sleep mode you're talking about. Sometimes when you're like, oh, I've got to jot a note down, or I've got to quickly check my email. With a traditional laptop, you have to power it up, and then it goes into that screen. It takes ages, right?
Dude, I just opened it up.
I just saw it. Give it to me. You just open it up, and it's already on. It's already on.
Right? I just stare at it.
You got the facial recognition on that?
The recognition, it knows who I am.
So it's already on, and you're logged in already. You're actually accessing the emails, whatever, right away without having to wait for it to load. It's already there.
It's already there.
But with a traditional laptop, I remember you have to open the lid, put power on. You have to wait for Windows to do its thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't. You see, normal Windows laptops don't sleep very well. So
yeah, they don't sleep well.
Like I've left this in my bag for most of the days, and I don't charge it at night.
And then you just put it on.
I don't charge it.
You just slip it up, and then you're ready to go.
It's like how I treated my tablet. Until it died, I didn't really care. And if it died, it would charge to I think this thing charges to 50% in 20 minutes.
I need to get one. I need to get one.
So
I need to sell my Zephyrus. I don't game as much on the laptop anyway. So
I do like this. Great for business.
And the reason why I got the Zephyrus is because it had the built-in GeForce RTX 3060 in there. But if you're telling me you could do video editing on that, then I'll probably. This is something I'd be looking into, because I can't lug my PC around to do my video stuff.
DaVinci runs on this thing. Okay, so that's basically my loadout along with the PD power bank. Of course, I have some low bits and bobs. Like for example, this is great because now I can keep my Galaxy Buds. With me.
Oh, it pairs with it as well.
Yeah, it's already paired with it. There's not a lot of deficits, to be perfectly honest. It's small, light, and the screen is great, even though it's a little bit not as bright. But indoors, it's not a big issue with 350 nits.
Yeah. That's true. Wow. For just probably $1,000, and that's a good investment.
That laptop was $1,649 at Staples when I was looking at it. It's back up in price to $1,649.
Right.
So when I purchased it, it was $1,049, and I had a $65 off coupon that I stacked on top of it.
You always get these great discounts.
It was under. So by the time I paid tax and everything, including the eco fee, it was under $1,100.
Oh wow!
Right, delivered free. It was delivered within 72 hours.
Damn, I need to get one.
Yeah. So there's another option though too. If you really like the tablet format and you really want something that's a little bit more durable, I actually ended up picking up for my daughter who wanted a new laptop because she smashed the crap out of her old one, an Intel one. It was a Lenovo. Literally the chassis is disintegrating on that, but my son is taking it to do something else with it. I picked her up a Asus ProArt EZ13, which is a Snapdragon X Plus version of it with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte.
So similar,
13-inch, brighter screen,
but the ARM processor in there.
X Plus,
right?
You know, like Core i7, Core i5, X Plus,
but it's an Intel thing.
Core i7, i7, X Plus, i5,
right? But still ARM architecture.
Same.
Right.
Just
not Intel
lower,
chip. It's an ARM chip.
Losing 2 cores and clock lower.
And Windows 11.
Windows 11, same.
And it works just as good?
Oh, yeah. I picked it up from Best Buy. It was in their refurbished, Geek Squad refurbished, open box.
Open box.
And I think that whoever bought this before, they didn't realize that it was ARM, so the stuff that they were using with it didn't work. But since then, because I noticed that it was never updated, it must have been sitting there for like 6 months since the number of updates came out. Works perfectly. My daughter absolutely loves it. Carries it everywhere in the house.
And then you just update
it. In the kitchen. It's actually IP54, so it's dust and water resistant as well too. So
it's great for kids
suitable for her. Military grade aluminum casing. So if she does drop it,
so how much was it retail?
It was the retail on that one was actually around, I think it was $1,700.
Wow, $1,700. But
so,
then you got open box. How much?
Open box, and then a deal on top of that. I think I paid $1,169.
Good. Wow.
Yep.
That's really good.
It's to be perfectly honest, it's the most interesting because it does have the Bluetooth pen and everything like that.
It is the pen.
It is Asus ProArt, so it is actually made for creators.
And it has touchscreen and everything.
Touchscreen and everything like that. So this is more traditional business.
Zephyrus doesn't have touchscreen. I need a touchscreen laptop.
Yeah.
So
ProArt, of course, if you know Asus, the ProArt line is color calibrated. As that one was, the screen's color calibrated. It's for artists and everything like that. It comes.
You should send me some links for those deals. I need not just open the box, but any of these new gadgety Snapdragon.
I only noticed it. I'm like, oh, it's gone. So you gotta be.
You told me to get the DJI. Remember that? And
that was a good deal.
That was a good deal.
Oh, speaking of which, DJI Osmo Pocket 3s. The price of the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 went up from $599, which is the normal retail creator bundle, just a little bit more, to $799 for the base model.
Wow.
So if I wanted to sell this guy in Taiwan, I could have made an additional $200.
What?
Yeah.
It's gone up in price. Because it's one of these, I tell you what, the DJI Pocket Osmo Pocket 3 is a fantastic gadget. I've seen loads of people using it at Computex.
Yeah.
I didn't use it as much because I wanted it, on my phone really quick.
In and out real fast.
Yeah. But for this kind of, it's so versatile. You can use it as a webcam. Seriously.
Oh yeah, the webcam's fantastic.
That's fantastic. And I use it for all my video works. Well, it follows me with the facial tracking. But outdoors as well is great. So it's good for if you want to capture extra footage, and you got a time to edit via SD cards and stuff like that. It's great. And for me, for Computex, it was so fast paced that I couldn't
keep up.
Yeah, couldn't keep up. I mean, if I had a team of people
like Linus,
then that person could be handling Osmo Pocket 3, and has his job. He can handle that, and then another guy would be using the film on the phone and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a great tool. Don't get me wrong. I use it all the time. In fact, I use it right away now for my work.
So what else you got? What else? Travelers, what else do they need?
Well, apart from that, wireless mics.
Okay.
Right. The DJI Mic 2 was great. However, I found that it was too loud. It was the Computex. So I tried to do the settings on the Osmo Pocket 3, but I put it to the lowest, and it was the background noise was way, way, way too much. I'm not sure if there's a setting on there.
It's boosting it. It's a dialogue booster. You need to turn that off.
So I need to turn it off somehow. So I'm sure that setting. I didn't have time to figure it out.
With it, right?
So yeah, I left it out. But yeah, definitely wireless mics is good. I've seen people wearing those as well. For me, the Hollyland.
Oh yeah, the little dot thing.
The little dot thing. Yeah. I was so well surprised.
Hollyland's a good brand. Because they make a lot of video transmission stuff. Thing,
I was wearing myself, and I put it onto the guy and clipped on there, and the the audio quality was clear as well.
Oh, yeah.
It had a little bit of background noise because that's what you expect at a trade event. But you could hear him clearly. You can hear me clearly. And with because it's plugged into the the receiver on the phone, while I was recording, perfectly.
Holy, that's a good brand.
It was fantastic.
It's a fantastic brand.
You know, you don't have to spend like $200, $300, $400 for a wireless mic set. That Holyland wireless mic set, it was like $100.
So pre-tariff? After tariff, 150?
Tariff, yeah. So there's different versions you can get. You can get the USB-C version, which plugs into your Android phone. You get the iPhone connection ones. But the new iPhone has the USB-C anyway.
Yes.
It has good audio cancellation. I use that as well for most of my video work, especially outdoors.
Yeah.
Especially using a phone to record. But yeah, the wireless mics is definitely something that you can carry. You can put it into these little holders with the chargers.
Oh yeah,
you carry that around everywhere.
It's literally the size of a headset, earbuds.
So gone are the days where you have to get a mic and you have to attach it into your camera and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you don't need that anymore.
I guess if you have a team, it's different.
Yeah,
because you can create higher quality stuff. Or if you were paid to do it and you actually had the budget to bring people along to actually create the content in the way that you want to, that's different. But if you just want to fling stuff up there as quick as possible because you want to be first, this is the way to go.
Wireless, compact wireless mics, record it onto your phone, everything, you upload it right away. And stuff like that. And tripods, I suppose you can use tripods. I mean, we use one right now.
Actually, we use a selfie stick with a really big base.
You don't need it. One of these huge, you know those, what do you call them? You know, one of those you have to.
The gimbals. The gimbals built into the DJI, right?
Exactly.
And also too, because this thing has it's technically a selfie stick, but the base is huge, and because this one actually has image stabilization because it is a gimbal, even though it's wobbling a little bit, you can barely tell.
Yeah, that's true. That's something. I mean, back in the day, those tripods depends. If the 3-legged tripods are great and stable, but the single monopods can be a bit wobbly.
They're wobbly. Well, this is technically a monopod, but it just has a really huge base, and the camera is very small, so it's different, right? Different times.
Yeah, DJI Osmo Pocket 3, 10 out of 10, definitely.
All right, so for traveling creators, definitely DJI Osmo Pocket 3. We got Windows ARM powered laptops out there. I mean, you can buy anything from this guy right here. You've got the ProArt, which is the tab, which is their answer to the Surface. The Surface was almost 2 to 3 times the price.
Wow.
Because the keyboard was $500. So the fact
the keyboard.
Yeah, the fact that the ProArt, the Asus ProArt came with a backlit keyboard for that price was absolutely amazing. I can't understand how Microsoft can still charge what they're charging when Asus can bring out the quality, have a military standard casing with IP54 device. Like it is a hot device. I wish I had it with me. I have to show it to you. But it's the P13. Look it up. It's the tablet version. It's got the cover. It comes with everything. Like if you want to get into the Windows ARM game and you want a pen and you want it to be small and light, that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued with the Windows 11 ARM, especially with these special laptops that you have there.
Yeah, it's great.
Battery life is the key.
Yeah, it's incredible.
As long as it runs all the apps that I use for a bit of video editing, Office, stuff like that. That's all I ever use.
So far, it hasn't been a downside. I mean, if I can install the app, then it can recognize the interface.
Yeah.
Mostly. Yeah. So I think that's basically it. We hit 30 minutes again, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't that great? So 30-minute show for you again. And thank you so much for tuning in. Season 11 is going strong. And we also have a number of Computex interviews that are coming up to talk about the show and the POV from the industry as well, too. Excellent. So from Winston and I, we'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.